Hello, my name is Donald Best. Welcome to another Am I Crazy video. Today I'm going to be talking about ADD and why you shouldn't just give somebody with attention deficit disorder medication. That's not enough. Once again, to make this video a reasonable length, I'm not going to be covering hyperactivity or impulsive subtypes of ADD, just basic ADD. One of the disadvantages of not having hyperactive forms of ADD is that the child is often not diagnosed for a while. And this is devastating because the child does poorly in school, and he's, or her, and usually he, for the most part boys, are told that they're lazy and dumb. And they get this message powerfully for quite a while before they're diagnosed with attention deficit disorder. And it's harder for people to believe that they have a problem because their behavior isn't a problem. Their performance is a problem. When they're diagnosed finally with ADD, oftentimes, most often, they're put on a medication and forgotten about. And this is awful for two reasons. First, there's already been significant psychological damage that needs to be repaired. And secondly, it's not enough. As I covered in my previous video, they're given a pill, not an understanding of what the problem is. And if they don't understand what the problem is, they can't be proactive about solving it, and the pill only lasts a little bit. So what happens is their performance comes up a little bit, and the expectations of them are dropped a lot, and so they never do that well. They never do great in school, so there's no really argument to the idea that they're dumb. And what the pill is, well, the pill is that they're given, it's speed, and there's no secret. This is no secret. Pretty soon they figure out that they're being given speed because they're bored as hell. And this really sets them up both they're emotionally very vulnerable, and it also sets them up with the solution to problems. I mean, it's not like they're sick. It's not as if they're there's not that understanding. They understand that they're given this pill because they're bored as hell, and it really sets a powerful example for them, and they're emotionally vulnerable, so they tend to do drugs. And you know what drugs they use? Things like pot. That is not going to help them perform academically. So it makes them feel better. Pot definitely treats their misery, but it makes it harder for them to perform intellectually, and reinforces the idea that they're dumb and they're lazy. Pot unmotivates them. So, you know, they enter adulthood with, so often, I've seen this over and over again, entering adulthood with a drug problem and dismal self-esteems, thinking they're both lazy and dumb. So, I am not against using medications, particularly for the hyperactive form. But when it's the first and only intervention, it's inadequate. And I would advocate try other stuff first. A thing that I particularly dislike about the medication is it reinforces that this is a disease that the person has. And once again, teachers and bosses and the world in general just needs to realize that our ADD population is the canary in the coal mine, and anything we can do to make it easier for them, it's just going to be easier, make it easier for everything. I'll tell you a story. Okay, so you have a teacher lecturing in a grade school level class, and you know, we're in 4th grade, and little Timmy over there has finally been diagnosed with ADD, and she knows that he's struggling. So what does she do? She gets him to stand up and stretch, humiliating him. No, because guess what? Susie's over there. Okay, she's bored as heck, and she's just barely paying attention, and she's getting it, but guess what's going to happen to her? Because the progression for women, females, girls, seems to be different than boys. Because she's struggling, but she's making it. She's paying attention to this very boring lecture you're giving. And what's going to happen is she's going to go through puberty. And she's going to deal with that emotional roller coaster and also the distraction. Suddenly every boy in the room is going to be a huge distraction for her, and she's going to stop making it, and then she's going to be diagnosed with ADD. So change the way you teach. Use your ADD people as, like I said over and over again, canaries in the coal mine. If they need to get up and stretch, everybody is going to be helped by getting up and stretch. If they need to take notes, be able to doodle, encourage everyone to do it. It's a good thing for everybody. So recognize that as a teacher, as you know, if you've got a good if you're a boss and you've got a good and talented person, and you know they have ADD, realize that you're going to help everybody on the team out by helping them out, and stop being so boring. You know, don't try to, before they say they have to get up and stretch, realize that they're having a problem. Get up and have, hey, we've been in this meeting for an hour, we need to stretch. 30 minutes, whatever it is. Sitting around is not good for you for long periods, or anyone. Another, understanding the disease is important for everyone. For instance, diet. One of the problems is we feed our children cornflakes and send them to school, not realizing that we've given them energy for 20 minutes, well, maybe a whole hour. Our ADD population just can't handle that. And studies show that everyone is benefited by a breakfast that will fuel them all the way to lunch. And that's one of the things. When people started suing shredded wheat for advertising that their cereal would help people pay attention in school, well, it kind of upset me because that's exactly the right message. Oh, all that sugar is not that great. But when you have a child with ADD, don't just give him the carbohydrate with a healthy fat and a protein. That's what everyone needs for breakfast. It's going to help everyone pay better attention, and everyone needs to pay better attention. Everyone needs to be fueled from breakfast to lunch. So I hope to do a video sometime soon on diet and attention deficit disorder. But it's just one example of how we need a healthier environment for these people, not to view them as sick. So do whatever you can. If medication is needed, do medication. I'm not telling people to not do medication, but I am telling people don't do it first and only. If you get to the medication, great. That I'm not, but try changing the diet, getting interventions in the classroom, and that isn't just for the ADD student, but and then tell your son or daughter that they're smart, that they can do it, and don't put all the responsibility on the pill, or just simply lower expectations. Still expect them to achieve in school. A good example is homework. So they have an hour of homework. What happens so often is they get through about 10 minutes of it and they need a break. Well, they don't want to do homework, so they're going to fight you on that break. They're going to try to turn that break into not having to do it at all. And because they have ADD is going to be a beautiful excuse. So what you do is you set up a situation. Okay, you've done you've done 10 minutes of homework. You get to get up for 2 minutes. And if you don't let them leave the area, it's so much easier. So okay, you can stop doing homework. If you can keep doing the homework, or you can do 5 push-ups. And guess what? Someone with ADD often would love to have a break and do 5 push-ups. You can't go away. Go watch TV, whatever. Keep them focused. But the importance of this example is that they're responsible for managing their problem. We don't just simply lower the expectations. We don't let them use their need for a break to mean that they don't have to do the homework. And that's the tragedy of ADD, is we give them a pill, and when the pill might mean that they do 20 minutes of homework instead of 10, and after that we just don't do anything. We just let them fail, and this destroys their self-esteem. So it's something we need to do better on, and I hope to make more videos on this subject.